excuse me. Just had to close the door because I am ready for an all-time crash. And I should have put in the other headphones. Nay, I might even do that. Will you listen to me try to do such? The in-ear monitors. Have you guys ever seen an in-ear monitor? So in Call of Duty, this is where it stemmed from. You probably heard this story before. But in Call of Duty, they wear these in-ear monitors where you get to hear just every little single detail of things. But they have a headphone over that, which allows them to, a headphone that is noise-proof to prevent people from the crowd trying to influence what they're doing, from people that are, whatever. It's esports. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, you can hear yourself a lot better wearing them, and I highly recommend, if you happen to do any kind of streaming where you want to hear yourself, to listen back. But today, holy smokes, am I ready to lose it. So first of all, haven't really had coffee per se during days. I just was like, it's not a thing in the morning. It's not a thing in the morning. No thank you, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you, no thank you. All right. And then today I was like, you know what? I kind of feel tired in the middle of the day. That's kind of weird. Let's stop and get a brew. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Brew machachi. Holy smokes. Also, Big Sexy Bartolo, happy birthday. What a crazy name that is. The one and only. Happy birthday. Okay. Guys, I'm still not approved on Abstract. The guy even responded to me. I was crashing out on the timeline being, let me in. Let me in. You seen the meme where it says, let me in? Yeah, that was me in person. So you get hit up. They're like, I can help. And then I'm thinking, okay, we have an absolute savior on our hand. We have an absolute savior on our hand. You ever watch a movie and then there's a hero? There's a savior that comes through. This Mason person is my savior. So they're like, hit me up with a wallet. And I'm like, okay. So, you go through Abstract, you figure out where your wallet is, send it along. Haven't gotten anything yet. I'm just, that's crazy. What are we doing? Unbelievable. So, waiting for that to happen. We're going to go through the typical news of the day. Welcome to another edition of XFeed. My name is The Shiller. We like talking about NFTs every single day. So, if you find this remotely interesting, I'd love for you to stick around for more than like a minute. You know what I mean? In this day and age, you click on something, you're like, all right, get to the point. And what happened when you clicked on here? I haven't gotten to the point. Okay, let's go. The other day, we had a 2000 Digimon, the Digital Monsters, Digimon Garlic Champion. You know what I'm saying? Banger show in Canada. I found it. I've been complaining that I couldn't find this on Netflix or any streaming platform. Apparently, it's just in the Internet Archives, whatever the hell that is, and you can watch the episodes for free. So it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Anyway, collectible cards, not too shabby. We might have to collect more. We might. We just might. But we're going to have a theme of the show. And it's about passion. It's a little bit about confidence, motivation. We tweeted about it the other day. Imagine being a little bit motivational on Thursday. I saw somebody earlier talk about it being a Baby Friday. Have you ever described Thursday as Baby Friday? Nah, that's some work right there. Love to see it. Okay, so Lemon. I have no idea what happened. Hopefully this isn't a big deal, but I wanted to bring this up because I quote tweeted earlier. Lemon said, I need to be less trusting in this space, sigh. So then your mind immediately goes, okay, did Lemon get screwed over from a business deal? Was this a close friend? Did this have anything to do with Web3? Well, it says in this space. So, okay, so obviously it does. And then you're like, all right, who's the culprit behind all of this? But my take on it, because obviously we can't know everybody's business, nor should we want to. What Lemon said, trust yourself, vibe with people you find common interests with, because you come into Web3, you're like, oh, this is exciting, and then there's distractions absolutely everywhere. Some people are good, some people are bad. In Digimon, you get the good guys and the bad guys. Same kind of thing. But no, everyone has hundreds of ideas, but it's too easy to get distracted, and their interest in the initial idea will likely fade. Now, all right, Chill, what the hell is this talking about? Well, have you seen, generally speaking, people get into an ecosystem, they love it, and then over time, some people stick with it. Over time, others don't. And within Web3, because the opportunities and things at large are so massive, so unique, so there's a niche for everything. It's too easy to get distracted. So people have an initial idea, and the amount of times that they'll work on it for a little bit, and then it just goes to the wayside, is a lot. Now, is that a bad thing? Not really if you're kind of expecting it. I mean, it is what it is, but you have to be aware. And not everyone has your best interest in mind. So ride solo and choose rich. That's Scientology. True. Okay. Arizona advances to strategic Bitcoin Reserve Act, permitting up to 10% of public funds to be invested in Bitcoin and digital assets. So there was like 30 other references about this on the timeline. And it is picking up speed. We talked a brief moment yesterday. Would love for you guys to go check out the stream from yesterday about the U.S. Digital Asset Committee. They have a committee in the government around things that we're doing on the blockchain. Talk about an impact. But it's picking up steam. And be aware. Be aware. All right, take from Gordon Goner. When AI floods the internet with infinite content and infinite tokens, real-world utility of some club-focused NFT projects will likely become highlighted and more scarce. I don't think tangible real-world utility stops at just yearly festivals and limited edition hoodies, which I think he's trying to poke fun at himself because that's Bored Ape Yacht Club had yearly festivals, limited edition hoodies. Nice. I think that was just the start, like a proto era for the club model. Real-world access and exclusivity can define value in world drowning in digital noise. You know how crazy it is? So we have the take from Lemon a second ago, and now we're talking about real-world assets of things. Now, we haven't even talked about the AI agents yet on the show, but can you imagine the world where there's AI agents? Do you see the drama you see on the timeline? Does anybody care about these sort of things? I mean, sure, maybe for entertainment purposes, but for business, man, it sucks when somebody's a shyster. But what if these AI agents do these crazy things? And that kind of goes away. But then, to this point, what happens with real-world utility? Does that suddenly become more of an interest? I would argue true. It's a good take. And I've said, I'm always down for Denny's and NFT talk. Let me know when we're doing that. You know what I'm saying? So Garga, the other founder of Bored Ape Yacht Club, commented on this Curtis coin. So Curtis is like the ape for Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? And I don't actually know what this is. Curtis, iconic face of Bored Ape Yacht Club community. Okay, so it's a meme coin on Ape Chain. I should have guessed. But they're making fun of the fact that the Pengu token took a nosedive. So they're like, oh, Luca, what a mess you've made. I mean, I think it's in jest, but like, emotions in Web3, when if you could verbally talk about it and have like a little bit of vocalization, or no, I don't know, the flair on your voice, it's kind of like a joke. It's not meant to be insulting, but some people are just like, this is awful. So Garga commented saying, not the vibe, let's keep it classy, which is great. And then there was a meme where the ape was drawing on a chalkboard like The Simpsons about how... they are going to keep it classy. So this was funny. I thought this was kind of hilarious. I promise to keep it classy. So Telegram has 1 billion users and 30 employees. Your L2 is 2 bot accounts and 55 employees with the CMO that keeps tweeting about how hard their job is. It's really weird when you do kind of compare the Web3 teams, and all of them are different. We've had conversations with ones that are, 3 to 5 people, and it all depends if they get scaled too. Like I take Bored Ape Yacht Club as an example. They had 4 people to begin with, and now I think they have 60 to 100 employees, whatever it may be. Maybe even less than what that is. But Telegram, let's assume this is right for a second. 30 employees for the size of Telegram. That's crazy in comparison. The other day, Reebok Impact, they posted this thing, and these are like AI generated shoes, and they've been shipping some physical versions of them. And I thought they were neat. I do think the concept of AI tooling, once you get into it, you're like, oh my goodness, this is pretty crazy. So if you're here and you use X, at the end of the stream, I'm going to show you Creator Buddy. Now, this is a tool, if you've seen the NFT God guy on the timeline talk about, I tried it for a month. I'm not gonna keep it, but I'm gonna show you that tool. So if you want the AI analysis of your X page, throw it down in the chat. Make sure it's on the live stream and not just like a comment on the tweet itself. If you're able to, again, we're on Twitch, YouTube, and X. Throw down your handle on X if you want the AI analysis of your bio. Now, you can also do this on X by just typing in yourself, but if you want to see through this creator tool, that is a paid for subscription. We'll show that in a moment. So the Fred Krueger guy, we've talked about it a little bit. It was a Bitcoin maxi that turned into interested in meme coins and talking about NFT culture and all this other stuff. But you look at these things. So I guess they did a space the other day, and the entire audience was a bunch of people wearing these dogs, right? And I think the community aspect of Web3 is huge because you have these huge movements you're able to do on social. We've highlighted Bored Ape doing it all the time. Why the hell do some of these bigger NFT collections not do this like sort of thing more so? I know this is a random post of a person with a bunch of followers making like an account to highlight the point. I get it. But you have hundreds to thousands of people that you can move the attention with. Why are we not utilizing that better in Web3? Now, the other day, we highlighted the sandwich again, 17,500 silo. Oh my goodness, talk about a Cajun chicken Caesar wrap and a salad. Not bad. Okay. Look at this. 100 Thieves. Introducing 100 Club, a new loyalty program that rewards 100 Thieves fandom. Complete contracts, earn honor. Yahoonzy, did they mean Una? I think they meant Una in there. And redeem rewards including exclusive apparel, benefits, and more. So I, quoted that saying brands finding ways to reward fandom in 2025. Well, I wonder how this is going to evolve. And of course, it's going to be connected to Web3 and you guys are already here for it. So what is 100 Club? Again, this is like a massive esport brand. They're in Valorant, they're in League of Legends, they're in Call of Duty. Call of Duty, they splurged to get some of the top player free agents in the off season. This is a big deal for anybody that's not like familiar. So you complete the contracts, earn honor, use honor to redeem rewards. What are the contracts that they mentioned? Contracts are ways for you to earn honor. Contracts include engaging with 100 Thieves content, ordering the apparel, or high ground and more. I have no idea what high ground is. And what is honor or hunar, depending on how you pronounce it. Honor is currency that you can earn and use to redeem rewards and rank up. Get it. So waiting to see what exactly that entails, but super cool that we're seeing some of the brands show these bigger activations. All right, what's on tap for the day? Happy birthday, BSB, once again. Morning was absolutely scrapped. True. Watch Call of Duty League, Major 1. We watched it for a little bit, and then the host. Okay, so listen, I'm like super hypercritical of live event hosting in general. I think there's like room for improvement kind of across everything, right? And this isn't just like a Web3 thing. We're talking about Call of Duty, and I believe that they were in Spain, and so they had a Spanish in-house announcer, and I'm guessing their second language was English, which is fine, right? They spoke it very fluently, but it had a very thick Spanish accent to it, again, which is fine. However, the person that they interviewed was right after a Call of Duty match. They had this awesome win, and the guy was French with their second language being English, and then the person with the big thick Spanish accent started asking if they wanted to have like some Spanish mojitos or some kind of food, and the guy who's French is looking at him like, huh? What are you talking about? The crowd's dying. The announcer goes back to it, and I'm like, why is this guy asking somebody about food because they did so good and that they were feeling hungry because they won so hard? Like, it didn't make any sense. It made zero sense. And I'm just sitting there like, what are we doing? And nothing came of it. And it's got clips and both people are getting ripped for it. And it's like, what? Why are we asking a hard question? You'd have to like understand the reference and the way the delivery was off. Just unbelievable. Next week's RWA Segments podcast. True. We did edit this. I got to work on a couple of other things for it, but the guest for next week is people from Landshare. So if you're wondering how people are tokenizing rental properties on chain, wild story. So that's in the link description on YouTube or on my X bio. So we attended 2 Think Spaces today. Both were decent. Listen, the first one, we had the same people that were hosting this that did the original Think token announcement. I don't know if the team put out the Think announcement at the exact same time as the Spaces on purpose or if that was an accident, but there was a huge amount of questions around the fact that it was kind of just random talk between the two hosts for like the first 30 minutes, and then it went into this big announcement, but it had nothing to do with the token for the first bit, and so they had another episode with those hosts today, and it kind of felt like the same thing where the first 30 minutes weren't really talking with the special guest that they had. Thought it was kind of weird, but it is what it is. Play Marvel Rivals, haven't done that. Play League of Legends, haven't done that. Wish happy birthday to Big Sexy Bartolo again. True. True. Xfeed stream, here we're doing it. Hopefully on Abstract. Of course, that's not the case. We got to watch an episode of Digimon. We got to watch the Ottawa Senators game. Search for more Digimon first edition cards. Wait for anticipation for silo launches. Supposed to be 3 within the next 6 weeks. When, and try Replicant Studio a little bit more. So if you guys have Epic Games, I posted this the other day. If you saw the character that was talking about Silentology, and it was just this AI generation. You type in whatever script you want. You can have X amount of people within it. You can kind of design the scene a little bit. It's a totally free tool on Epic Games. It's a massive download. But if you're wanting to see the advancements of AI in a fun, free way, that's great to do it. And how you respond to this, how you should. Nobody cares, little bro. True. Okay, moving on. Guys, what the hell is going on with people that get in the NFT space and being associated with, I don't know, not particularly phenomenal happenings outside of the web? So, Terry Rozier, breaking news about him, who's an NBA player. Federal prosecutors are investigating whether Terry Rozier manipulated his performance in 2023 as part of an illegal sports betting scheme. Okay. Now, my mind goes to, remember when Terry traded signed NBA merchandise of himself for extremely expensive Top Shot moments in the early day? This guy was on the timeline and trying to trade some merch for $10,000 plus moments. It was super strange. I don't know if they actually followed through with sending things, but so some crazy news. Apparently, there's tariffs getting put on Canada and Mexico. Now, this is the big talking point is what's going to happen to global currencies around the world as this is starting to happen. We saw the Canadian dollar took a little bit, and this goes back to the questions of just world currencies as a whole. And that's what we talk about crypto. So again, just wanted to mention, again, the currencies are going to be a huge topic moving forward this year. As is things that just simply don't work. So Jake Lucky, I don't know if he broke this announcement or if it came out from the Midnight Society page itself, but this is the game that Dr. Disrespect was a part of. And they dropped him when the allegations, all that other stuff happened. And there was a big overarching question of, well, this entire game has its identity of this is, and it was Dead Drop to be more specific. It was Dead Drop, but Midnight Society was the studio building it. And Dead Drop was the game, and Midnight Studio was the studio. Midnight Society, was Dr. Disrespect's game. And that essentially was the marketing for it. And so when they basically dropped that on a whim, it was oh, okay, so this is just another first-person shooter game in Web3. Doesn't have the same pizzing with it. We talk about all this IP supercycle. Well, there we go. Today, we are announcing Midnight Society will be closing its doors after 3 incredible years. With an amazing team of over 55 developers contributing to our new IP Dead Drop, we are actively seeking other game studios that would be interested in offering employment opportunities to our talented team members. If you know anyone who's hiring, please forward this message to them or DM us for direct intros. We express our sincere gratitude to each and every one of our community members and deeply sorry we were unable to reach our ultimate goal. And then they have an image of Dead Drop. And I don't really know if there's anything else to say with that. It just sucks that we see something in Web3 not come to fruition. And it begs the question, do we look at things that are newer? Do we look at things that have massive funding? And then when you stop and think about, well, the teams with massive funding, do you remember Recurve or Recur? That was a huge thing that had... I'm still here. I'm just going to try to do this in the background. But Recur shutdown was... So this was one of the huge raises of Web3 that had multiple names attached. Recur shut down less than 2 years after raising $50 million in Series A. It was back in 23. NFT platform Recur has decided to close less than 2 years after raising $50 million in a Series A funding round. The shutdown will occur in phases, there's an ad, beginning with the disabling of sales on August 18th, followed by the cessation of all site functions by November 16th. Recur, the non-fungible token platform, has announced its decision to shut down less than 2 years after raising $50 million in a Series A founding round. The announcement details a phased closure of the platform's functionality, beginning with disabling of the primary. Recur has provided instructions for users regarding user withdrawal. We go down. I thought this was going to be like a little bit more. Okay, there we go. So this is, should have skipped the whole first part. Why is Recur closing? The decision to close comes after previous fundraising success, including a 5 million seed round and the 50 million Series A funding at a valuation of 333 million. They just shut down with that valuation. That's crazy. While the specific reasons for the shutdown have not been publicly disclosed, the team cited unforeseen challenges and shifts in the business landscape. So after these raises, to think back of the SEC and all that kind of jazz, right? OpenSea getting the Wells notice, CyberKongs. Was Recur one of the earliest ones to get that, and they just decided we're going to shut down without citing it was because of that reason? Food for thought. The NFT market has experienced a downtrend over the last year. The total value of NFT sales on Ethereum has declined from a peak of over $4.9 billion in January 2022 to around $272 million in July 2023, according to Crypto Slam. And I'm pretty sure Care Bears, Rugrats, there's a couple different collections that this was a part of. And it's just wild to think. So new people get into the space, they feel more comfortable with memes. Are people going to jump into the real world asset sector of crypto, feeling more comfortable on that landscape? There's a lot of questions to be had, and they shall continue. But I don't see anybody jumping in for the creator breakdown, so we'll save that for tomorrow. I appreciate you guys coming on through for this edition of XFeed No Webcam Edition. Sheesh, a little bit different, even though I think I act exactly the same and probably say exactly the same things that I would.